have a new Hive Island candidate that we have to check out. I know we've checked out islands in the Florida Keys, speaking of the Florida, but this is a whole new level. And if you haven't been listening to the pod since we started in 2018, the goal of this podcast, aside from, taking the piss out of the news, making it more enjoyable, comedic, is to eventually make the show successful enough to be able to afford a giant island where we can all meet up, hang out, and talk shit in person, as opposed to like over the internet, like a real community, right? A real Hive
fly
Island.
down some prostitutes
maybe
as
get
non-members of Congress.
Hey, I'm not going to turn my nose up at it. I got
PGH's portable glory holes.
Right, like a Eliminator style portable glory hole situation, like in American Gladiators, where there's a Tony behind one of them.
Every door's got a portable glory hole on it.
Yeah, it could be a fun game. Auto blow.
Some of these are Lucille's, some of these are Tony's.
That could be a fun game. You have to get everybody really drunk for that one. So we've looked at a lot of properties, right, for Hive Island, right? We've looked at Florida Keys properties with Tammy the Realtor. Sardinia in Italy, was paying people to move there. That caught our attention. And there's been some very good candidates over the years. But last week I told you guys about the Migaloo M5 personal luxury submarine for $2 billion that could easily be a very nice mobile Hive Island for us and the listeners in the future. But we'd have to raise that kind of capital, $2 billion. And the drawback there is you could really only have 15 investors and 35 staff who can enjoy the Hive Island sub at one time. Okay, not many.
Well, if you get 3 like Bezos, didn't Bezos just take out $6 billion?
He could buy 3 Migaloos, yeah. But that's so he can buy all of Florida because he's moving there. So
okay,
yeah. And some people say because of the market, but anyways. However, I think I may have found a solution to our Hive Island having enough space for the entire Hardo Hive. With a new real estate listing off the coast of Chile for the insanely reasonable cost of $35 million US. We and the listeners could be the owners of Virgin Island off of Chile's Pacific coast.
We're going to have to rename that.
Well, there's a reason it's called that. And we would absolutely rename it. It'll be Hive Island, obviously, off of Chile's Pacific coast. It's got more than 110,000 acres.
Cherry Island.
The opposite of Virgin Island.
Yeah.
It's inside an archipelago, and it's half the size of Hong Kong, 7 times the size of Manhattan, and larger than all of the Florida Keys combined.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. It's huge. This thing is fucking massive.
I see a Hyman K back there.
Oh yeah. We can name all the lagoons west. Oh man.
It also happens to be our accountant's name. I'm looking. It's got mountains, bro. But how far south?
I'll show you. So here it is.
Okay.
So it's the closest city, Balsameda. Okay, and it's down here. It's a Patagonian island. It's in the Andes mountain range, but not in the snow-capped part. It's got barrier islands that to the west. That block the harsh weather from the ocean, and it's got the snow-capped Andes to the east and south, which also kind of keep you isolated from harsh weather.
So that water's cold, Will.
The water's cold.
Prostitutes hate cold water, Will.
Yeah, but they love beautiful islands.
Is cocaine legal in Chile?
Probably in South America. I don't know. It's probably easy to get. What's up?
I said it's close. The coke.
It will be on Hyman Cove.
You're closer than here. It also features over 150 miles of coastline, the island, 80 lagoons that can be turned into badass ports of call, Ks with names like Wes was saying, 3 large lakes, wetlands to aid in farming and alcohol production, and tons of jungles to help build everything we need while we clear off the sandy beaches and roads for our leisure and enjoyment. So,
any tribes of people there?
No, completely untouched. No people, no nothing. And it's completely undeveloped, hence the name Virgin Island. Okay. The only drawback, as you guys mentioned, it is not really a cold island since the average temperature is 60 degrees, but the average temperature is 60 degrees, meaning that we might want to come back to the United States to visit family and friends for June and July every year, the 2 coldest months by far on the island.
It's cold in terms of how many prostitutes are there. If you had a scale of a lot of prostitutes being on an island, and being hot,
you could fly a bunch in. It's only a 10-hour flight, and it's only about $700. So you could get a whole bunch to come.
Yeah, and then you just keep them warm in your bed with 10 prostitutes.
Really not that hard to get them.
Toasty. Cold as in after the Venmo payments, they're going to keep being cool.
Right.
Yeah.
No Matt Gates is allowed.
As if they were to tell someone, that would be them being hot.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the
No
spider?
Matt Gates, and I would even have Matt Gates there before Joel Greenberg's. Absolutely no Joel Greenberg's.
No Greenberg.
Unless we have a listener named Joel Greenberg, and you're
What's
not the same one in Florida. So.
What's the spider situation? Will, do you know?
Oh,
Probably not that many. I mean, it's a
Okay.
remote island.
Okay.
So
Good.
yeah, it's a great option. Okay?
What's the price
It's a great
tag on it?
option.
35, he said, or in mid 30s. We could negotiate to 30 probably.
35 million is doable, especially for
Yeah.
us and all the listeners. You think about 110,000 acres. We could literally build like a country there. Like we could build like
well, that's why
yeah.
we're in the lottery pool too, because when we win like a big Mega Millions, that's everything covered plus the buildings we're going to put in there and the trees getting chopped down and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would also be good for everybody's mental health because the Finns, the happiest country for many years running, say that the three components to happiness are community, doing stuff for each other, and finding a purpose that's not defeated by an overbearing government. All of that probably way easier to do on a remote Hive Island than the most polarized, internally spied on and indebted USA of all time in 2024. So our goal remains.
It is technically
worthy option.
polarized down there in that it's near the South Pole, but
It
yes,
is close to the South Pole. Yeah.
I'm in. I like it.
It's about the same longitude, latitude, or whatever longitude as the South Island, New Zealand, which is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. So
we could play like a beer Olympics, but like a different event on each lagoon you showed, like lagoon hopping.
oh yeah,
Stuff
dude,
like that.
80 lagoons.
Yeah.
80 lagoons. Are you kidding me? I mean, just you're in the
play
boat
hide
all
the
day.
whore.
Yeah.
Hide the whore. We could call ourselves the Lagoons because it's kind of like a cool name, like you're a goon, you're
Right,
goof.
the lagoons.
The Lagoons. I mean,
That's a good
it's like
point.
our name for ourselves. You know?
All right,
Don't get beat up.
Yeah.
that's all the news.
But
We're over the 40, but hey, real quick, since we promised it, who's everybody's favorite number one president of all time?
Easy. Taft. He got stuck in a fucking bathtub. He's the man.
Okay, Mark's got Taft
Clinton.
for the blowjob.
He's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
I like his swag. I like his riz.
I'm going to go to the opposite of Clinton, JFK. He was so good
He was
at his
cool.
job that the CIA and mafia killed him for threatening their control over America.
And he
So,
got Marilyn Monroe. We know it.
yeah,
How did he
plus
get-
way bigger pull than Clinton.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lewinsky's cute, but Monroe.
Clinton had way more than Lewinsky. Let's be honest.
yeah, but he
Yeah,
didn't have
Jennifer
Marilyn Monroe
Flowers,
coming through the tunnel to the
Paula
White
Jones,
House.
all the hotties,
It's true.
all the hotties.
He didn't have that.
Pat, you got one?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Teddy Roosevelt
Nice, he's my
started the
favorite.
national park system and took a really dangerous trip through the Amazon River in a way that probably should have killed him. But very
Not
cool
only
book.
that, Pat, did you know that he is the original fat-a-thoner? He would train MMA just to lose weight prior to an election. So he didn't work out ever,
Nice.
just loved to party. But then when he had to win an election, he would just go to the basement of the White House and train MMA to drop a few pounds before the election. He's just like us, Teddy.
Carry a big stick. Speaking of big sticks, no one's going to go Lyndon B. Johnson for the customized pants phone call.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
That was
From a
pretty good.
bunghole.
That's pretty good. I'd say you have to go Honest Abe or Washington above LBJ. Just for,
Yeah.
you know.
Honest
boy.
Abe's way up there. Yeah.
Not going to get into the worst. Probably
hang with
1973
Tony,
now and
though.
pre-Abe Lincoln are the worst.
Yeah, no one went with the last two guys. Interesting. All right. Okay.
No, nobody would go with anybody. Well, Wes went with somebody post 1970, but just for the blowjob.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
Yeah,
he's
bonus dog, top 5 Batmans of all time official. I just rewatched them. 1 Dark Knight, 2 Batman Original, 3 Dark Knight Rises, 4 Batman Returns, 5 Batman Begins. That's it.